In a world carved up by empires, where Rome ruled with iron and Egypt glittered with gold, two people dared to believe that love could stand against the greatest superpower on earth. This is the story of a Roman warlord and an Egyptian queen, a love so powerful it shook the foundations of the ancient world. Welcome to the Vanilla Gorilla Investigates, Antony and Cleopatra, the ancient world's greatest love story. I'm your host, the Vanilla Gorilla, and today we're heading back over 2,000 years ago to the sun-baked palaces of Alexandria and the marbled halls of Rome to see how passion, politics, and power collided in a love story that ended an entire era. First up, Marcus Antonius. To the Romans, he's Antony, battle-hardened general, drinking buddy of Julius Caesar, and his trusted lieutenant, a man who lived loud, laughed hard, and fought even harder. He's not the politician polished like Octavian back in Rome. Antony is the war dog, the guy you send when you need an army to bleed for you. And then Cleopatra VII. Forget the Hollywood myth for a second. Cleopatra wasn't just a pretty girl with eyeliner. She spoke multiple languages, knew philosophy, economics, and science, and she ruled Egypt not as a figurehead, but as a strategist. She had already survived palace coups, Roman invasions, and the assassination of her first Roman ally, Julius Caesar himself. So when these two finally came face to face, it's not just beauty meeting brawn, it's two powerhouses who both know exactly what they want. The year is 41 BC. Antony summons Cleopatra to the city of Tarsus, demanding she explain why Egypt hasn't been sending Rome enough support. Most rulers would show up nervous, not Cleopatra. She sails in on a golden barge, sails dyed purple, perfume floating over the river before the ship even arrives. She's dressed as the goddess Isis, surrounded by musicians, servants, and treasure. Antony thinks he's calling a client queen to heal, but Cleopatra turns up the meeting into a royal flex. Instead of grilling her, Antony ends up dining with her. Laughing with her, charmed by her, what begins as a political negotiation turns into a connection neither of them expected. From that night, Rome's top general and Egypt's last pharaoh are locked in each other's orbit. Antony follows Cleopatra back to Alexandria, and there the love story really ignites. The two form an elite friend called the Intimate Livers, a fancy way of saying they party like there was no tomorrow. Feast that lasted all night, practical jokes in the marketplace. Legends say Cleopatra once dissolved a priceless pearl in vinegar just to show Antony how casually she could destroy wealth. But beneath the parties was a deadly serious plan. Antony needed Egypt's money, ships, and grain. Cleopatra needed Rome's protection and a Roman champion who would keep her on the throne. Together they had children, combined with political power, and starting imagining something dangerous. A world where Rome and Egypt would rule together, with them as king and queen. Meanwhile, in Rome, not everyone is sipping honeyed wine about this. Antony's rival, Octavian, the future Augustus, paints him as a traitor. He spreads rumors that Antony has abandoned Roman values, that he's become a slave to the Eastern Queen, that Cleopatra has bewitched him with magic and luxury. And Antony gives him ammunition. He divorces Octavian's sister, publicly hands pieces of the Eastern Mediterranean to Cleopatra and their children, and appears less